What is going on, YouTube and Resonators? It is your boy wtfmikxy here, and today we are going to be going over how to build Yinlin. Yinlin is a 5-star electro rectifier user who not only is a 5-star but also looks the part. Yinlin's design and her whole character gets 10s across the board, but obviously that is not what we're here for. So let's get right into the guide. For the short amount of time that I played Yinlin since her release, I can tell you right off the bat that Yinlin is one of the best Resonators when it comes to AoE damage. Despite Yinlin's amazing character design and her really good looks, she comes around as being one of the best off-fielders in all of Wuthering Waves, providing large amounts of value to you and your team while she's off the field and dealing lots of damage while doing so. I am not going to lie to you, I think the only debuff that comes with Yinlin is the fact that she barely needs any field time. And with her fun playstyle and how good she looks, I know it's going to be really difficult to keep her off the field for some of you gamers. So if you're like me and you have a hard time focusing, then maybe you should just skip Yinlin. But of course this means missing out on one of the best hybrid Resonators in Wuthering Waves. And as we are in the early stages of the game, I just feel like Yinlin is just a really long-term Resonator. And what I mean by this is that she's going to be very future-proof. And yes, I'm saying this before we get the, oh, this Resonator power creeps this Resonator, or this Resonator is better than that one. You guys already know how it goes in these gacha games. Thankfully, Wuthering Waves is one of those games where you are rewarded for how good you are at the game. So to start off building your impeccable damage dealing Yinlin, we are going to be talking about her echoes. So you are going to want to run a 5 echo set of Void and a 4-3-3-1 set, with using Tempest Memphis as Yinlin's main echo, as it is the best all-around choice for her. Or you may use Thunder and Memphis, but I prefer Tempest Memphis because you can swap cancel and you don't get stuck in animation. And I really can't begin to tell you how upset it makes me when I get hit by an enemy after being stuck in an echo animation. It's so frustrating, dude, like absolutely so frustrating. Now the reason why I choose a 5 set of Void Thunder is because I'm trying to get access to as much Yinlin damage as I possibly can while she's off the field. Although I'd rather have her on the field. Anyways, a 2 set of Void Thunder increases Yinlin's electrical damage by 10%, while a 5 set of Void Thunder using a heavy attack or resonance skill, electrical damage will be increased by 15%, stacking up to 2 times, each stack lasting for 15 seconds, which is exactly what you need, no strings attached, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. For your main forecast echo, whether you're going with Tempest Memphis or Thundering Memphis, you're going to want to stack crit damage and crit rate for your rolls. And then for your second and third slot echoes, you're going to want to stack electro damage. And finally, for your 4th and 5th slot echoes, you're going to want to get attack percentage. Now, those are the main stats you want to prioritize on those slots when you are farming those echoes. As for your substats on any of these echoes, you want to be focusing on rolling for energy regeneration, crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, flat attack, and resonance skill damage percentage. This will maximize Yinlin's damage to the best of its ability. And instead of Yinlin tickling your enemies, she will start hitting them with a freaking semi-truck with the side of free shock therapy. Now, as far as Yinlin's skills go, you want to focus on the Forte circuit, as this is where her main damage is going to come from. Upgrading this talent will help Yinlin deal as much damage as possible off the field, which is what you're aiming for while building Yinlin. Next will be your Resonance Liberation, as having alt damage points is always good as well. Then after the Resonance Liberation, you can focus on the Resonance skill. Then lastly, your basic attack and intro skill, as Yinlin's going to be mainly off the field, so these don't really require much priority. As we are moving on to Yinlin's weapons, of course her best in slot is going to be the String Master, which for some reason provides an insane amount of crit rate and other damage boosts. I ended up pulling for the String Master, and let me tell you, it is a night and day difference from any 4-star rectifier on this list. Now, if you do have some standard banner summons, an excellent great second choice is going to be the Cosmic Ripples from the standard weapon banner. Also, in my opinion, one of the most free-to-play safe options for Yinlin, if you are not putting your trust in the gacha gods to go for the String Master. Because just to remind you, weapon banners are always 100% guaranteed, so it may not hurt going for the standard banner rectifier if you did pull for Yinlin, and offers really good bonus stats for Yinlin like attack percentage, base attack, and energy regeneration. Now, my go-to 4-star weapon would be the Augment if you absolutely can't get any of the 5-star weapons, as the Augment will provide Yinlin with crit rate and attack boosts, which will lead to more electro damage for Yinlin's kit. Now for your alternative other 4-star rectifier you can go with the Jinzhou Keeper, as the Jinzhou Keeper will grant you extra attack percentage boost after using an intro skill. But the only downside to this is we are building Yinlin and using her intro skill as the last priority as far as building her skills go, and also because I feel like the Augment provides provides more stuff that is more valuable to Yinlin and her kit. Now, in my opinion, I would just say right off the bat that Yinlin is one of the most versatile hybrid resonators in all of Wuthering Waves. And this is proven to be just facts because she really does a lot of damage while she's off the field and buffs a lot of main DPS resonators. And that's where her value really increases because she's really good with most of the 5-star resonators from the standard banner. And as you know, Kuro Games has given us a lot of free 5-star characters from that banner. So if you are free to play, you most likely can utilize Yinlin in their full capacity, and why that makes her a great pull for you. Now with that said, Yinlin is really good with Calcharo from the standard banner, as fielding these two resonators together will gain you lots of damage points on the field. I would personally say the only issue that you may have with running Calcharo together with Yinlin is that Calcharo is a very difficult DPS resonator to play. So if you are not an advanced Wuthering Waves gamer, then maybe we should take a look at the other options that we have available to us. Now it's a similar thing with synergizing Yinlin with Encore, as Yinlin and Encore could utilize each other and work off each other very well. The only thing is that Encore is really hard to play as well as Calcharo is. The only thing I personally don't like about fielding Encore is the fact that it's really hard to parry. But you could also work around this by pairing with Yinlin or maybe the support resonator. But with Yinlin, I feel as if you will have your support resonator in the very least, as you will be quick swapping to and from your main DPS to your hybrid resonator. And I'm just going to be straight with you guys. I'm not sure if this is just a me thing, but something in my soul does not allow me to use two resonators that use the same weapon type on a team at once. So both Encore and Yinlin both using rectifiers is just way too much for me. But this is also a personal preference as well. Now my favorite synergy by far is the canon synergy between Yinlin and Rover. Havoc Rover to be exact. One Havoc Rover is a great DPS resonator, and on top of that she's free to play, and the way you access her is by beating 1.0 of Wuthering Waves. So thus making her very free to play friendly and an option for all. And the good option at that. For me, she's my go-to DPS resonator because her playstyle feels right and she's very fun. And I'm just a big fan of sword users, and I really love Rover. So the stars were already aligned for me as far as Havoc Rover coming out in 1.0. So if you are like me and you're newer to this combat style that Wuthering Waves is providing to us, then Havoc Rover might be on your watch list for your main DPS to pair up with Yinlin, because she's easy to use, she's fun to play, and there's not really a big learning curve. Now that we got your main DPS resonators out of the way, we can talk about which support resonators would be the best with Yinlin. So of course, when we mention support, we always got to go with our number one go-to pick in any early team composition in Wuthering Waves. And of course, that's gonna be Verena. Verena, of course, will not only heal your team, but she offers a lot of offensive and defensive buffs for Yinlin and your main DPS resonator. So what you can do is you can swap to Verena and gain those support buffs, then go to Yinlin and do what you gotta do. Gain all that damage and support buffs and go straight to your main DPS resonator and start chipping away some massive amount of damage. There's so many ways you can handle it, but I'm not really a rotation god, so I'm not gonna really get into it. But if you want to maximize all your resonators, of course you can go into the rotations part of Wuthering Waves. And being able to know when to swap in and swap out resonators is how you're gonna get the maximum amount of damage, and how that's gonna help you in things like hologram. Now for the resonator that I personally use for my support resonators, I use Jiangxing. The thing that's really cool about Jiangxing is that she is a jack of all trades. She provides healing and she provides shields. And not only that, if you are doing Tower of Adversity, where Yinlin is really strong in because of her insane AoE potential, what you can do is you can use Jiangxing to gather up all your enemies, swap to Yinlin, deal some damage and get her punishment marks, then go to your main DPS resonator and hammer away. Again, there is probably a better way you can do this with rotations and stuff like that, but as I mentioned before, I am not a rotation god, so trial and error is what you can do. Now, if for some reason you don't have any 5-star support resonators, there is always Baiji, who is available to you right off the bat. Now, in my opinion, Baiji is just a Walmart Verena. She could do the same things that Verena can do, but at a discount price. Now, the thing that really blows about using Baiji is the fact that you are trying to build a quick swap team comp, as Yinlin should be your off-fielder and so should your support resonator. But certain aspects to Baiji requires her to have more field time than necessary, and this can really downgrade your team composition as a whole. But despite not her being able to buff all of her resonators at once like Verena, and not having as strong support as Verena does, Baiji does still earn her keep as a 4-star resonator, because any support resonator that's out currently is really hard to compare with when it comes to Verena. As for me personally, I didn't select Verena on any of my 5-star selectors, which I regret deeply. Before those times where I had Jiangxing, I did use Baiji a lot, and she does hold her own from time to time. She's actually very useful for a 4-star resonator, so I wouldn't knock her down too much. She's still a great pick if you do not have Verena. That is all I have for today, guys. If you did enjoy enjoyed the video, please smash that subscribe button down below so you can find your way back to my channel. And as always, while you're down there, join the community Discord and leave a like and comment your thoughts. That's it for now. Peace.